The giant bombers of World War I. Were they invented technology or found technology? History teaches us that on December 17th, 1903, the Wright brothers flew the first airplane at Kill Devil Hill in North Carolina. It flew 120 feet. Their first airplane was invented. Then in July 1914, World War I started. The Germans amazingly were able to build a giant bomber airplane, the Staaken Bomber 6, that had a wingspan of 138 feet, which is only slightly shorter than the wingspan of the largest World War II military airplane, the American B-29 Superfortress, which has a wingspan of 141 feet. The giant Staaken bomber could carry a payload of 4,409 pounds of bombs and fly over 14,000 feet. But incredibly, the Germans were able to build even a bigger bomber, the Seaman Schubert 8, that had a wingspan of 157 feet, longer than the Superfortress. Only 2 of these huge bombers were built, and only one was ever used in combat. But even more incredible is history teaches that even a larger German bomber airplane was being built, and that was the Mannesmann giant airplane that had a middle wingspan of a whopping 165 feet, 24 feet longer than the B-29 Superfortress. Who would have ever thought that the largest World War I airplanes would be larger than the largest World War II planes? But before the Germans were going to launch the giant airplane, the armistice was signed in 1918, ending World War I. The odd thing about World War I bombers is they have large windows, which seem to be a bad design for a combat aircraft. Also, what I find odd about the Staaken R-6 bombers is they had a 50-man ground crew to push the airplanes in and out of the hangar. It would seem that the engineers who were brilliant enough to build an aircraft like this would have built a tow vehicle for it. The other questionable thing about World War I bombers is they have no bomb bay, the place where the bombs are stacked and dropped. The bombs of these planes, as far as my research shows, that the bombs were dropped manually out of the windows and gun turret of the plane. Now, let us go to the Russian bomber, the Surorsky 522 Ilya Marmot. It came equipped with flush toilets, an insulated passenger salon, comfortable wicker chairs, a lounge, and a bedroom. Very odd equipment for a warplane. But in fact, history does admit these planes were converted passenger planes and not built for war. But the questionable thing is, World War I began before commercial passenger airline service started in Russia. So the question arises, why did Russia have so many passenger aircraft? In fact, nothing about these World War I bomber airplanes adds up or makes sense. In fact, I do not believe these giant planes were built technology, but found technology. If we look in the pages of history, it states that in the year 1816 was a year without a summer, and that caused massive crop failures and livestock die-offs, an agriculture disaster. The disaster history teaches us was caused by a massive volcanic eruption of Mount Tambaro in Indonesia. The ash emitted from the volcano blackened the sun. Volcano blocked the sun's heat and caused temperatures in the northern hemisphere to plummet. But then history goes on like this event had little effect on civilization or people. But I believe it did. I believe it would have had to. I believe it killed most of the people. The World War I airplanes were not invented technology, but found technology by the reset people. That is why timelines and the designs of these warplanes do not add up. These World War I bomber planes were converted passenger planes from an era that they do not want us to know about. Anyway, thanks for watching my video and have a good day.